What's up, you guys? It's Jonno! Today I'm gonna show you my max Bagon evolution. That is right, you guys. I managed to snag myself a max Bagon. Very, very good catch. This isn't it. This is my very first Pokedex Bagon. It was a level 30, 100% Bagon, which I thought was pretty swag. Shall we call him Swagon? Oh yeah, I think we're gonna do that from now on. So I got the level 30 Swagon, and I thought, you know, that's pretty good, but then I found the 35, so I was like, oh, you're not as important to me. But, you know, it was a Pokedex entry, so I figured I'd get it on the video for you guys. My very first Swagon entry in my Pokedex. Alright, we got the Bagon right there. He's a 100%, so for the very first catch to be a level 30, 100, feels pretty good. Alright, that's that life that we're living right there. Alright, you guys, level 30 is a good catch. So this is the level 35. I got this in Southern California. I had to do the whole 2-hour wait, all that stuff. It was like a long wait. He's weather boosted, he's windy, weather boosted. So if you guys are looking for a max Bagon, you are looking for windy weather. Alright, you guys, windy is what you're looking out for. I kind of don't get it because he's not flying. Oh, he's dragon type. Okay, so there we go. That was the wind advisory right there, and it says what type of weather to watch out for. So windy weather does make dragon types come out as well. I actually didn't know that, so that's kind of interesting. I even learn new stuff on my videos all the time. We don't get windy weather that often in California. It's not as often because we don't really get that many storms that come through here, but we have had some big storms recently, and we did get some windy weather, and this was Southern California. Very good spawn for Southern California, so I had to do the wait. You know, I had to wait and get that whole thing. Anyway, you guys, I don't have the candies for this. I've been getting Metagross candies like crazy. I've been catching Matang, Pineapple him. I'm gonna have a video as soon as I can get the level 35 Beldum. Then I'm gonna have a video for you guys. So I'm really excited to bring that content to my channel. But I didn't have that content to bring today. But I did have the Salamence. So we're gonna go ahead and get that evolution going. As I mentioned, I could not get the candies. I just could not find Shelgons to catch. I don't know why, but on the Poke Fairy scanner, she's got Matang on there on her Ultra scanner, but not Shelgon, so that's okay. I mean, it's not a big deal, but that's why I've got all the Matang candies, but I could not get the Bagon candies. You gotta have Shelgons to Pineapple so you can get the 10 candies, and then you can just knock them out really fast, which is what I did with Matang, but unfortunately couldn't find those Shelgons, so just had to do the rare candies. So here we go, you guys, gotta do the rare candies. Obviously, you guys know I do a ton of raids. I do so many raids. I'm like a raid master. So yeah, I've got tons of rare candies. I actually had more rare candies than I thought I was going to have. I was very impressed with myself. I was like, go ahead and get it, Jonno. Nice work. So yeah, I feel pretty good about using the rare candies. I had way more than I actually need, so I'm like, hey, I could use them up. Now, you do need a lot of rare candies if you like to power up legendaries, and I do like powering up my legendaries. They're the strongest Pokemon in the game in most cases, and they're worth powering up, so I try to power them up. I never did power up the legendary birds. I never did power up the legendary dogs. I don't think dogs are worth it, but I think that the birds actually were worth it. Like the Articuno has been very useful. I don't have one powered up, but it throws it into battle all the time anyway, so I'm like, hey, Articuno probably should you know, be using that thing, especially now that we've got Rayquaza as a raid boss. It's one of the top attackers against Rayquaza, but I just don't have the Stardust to power up, and I wasn't obsessed with raids back then, so I don't have the really high IV legendary birds that I would actually want to have. I didn't really take the raids that seriously back then because I was kind of frustrated with the game at that point in time. Of course, those legendary raids came out right after Chicago Fest, which we will never, ever, ever forget, RIP. But yeah, I was very frustrated with the game back then, and I wasn't taking raids seriously. Now I have got the raid bug, you guys. I am completely bitten by the raid bug. I've been trying to get those perfects. I got 2 perfect Kyogres. Alright, you guys, I got a 98% Groudon and 2 96% Groudon. I mean, I've been really going ham on those raids, and I must say I've been inspired by a lot of the Pokemon Go YouTube community, the spoof community. These guys just go so hard, and they just do raid after raid after raid after raid. They're just throwing like massive amounts of paper on the game, and you guys know I'm a high spender on the game, but what I used to spend my money on in the game was driving around, you know, paying for the gas, paying for the trips and all that stuff. And what I'd really rather do is pay the money directly into the game for raid passes and just do as many raids as possible. So I find that to be much more compelling gameplay, very, very fun gameplay. So that's what I've been doing with my time. The driving, you know, not such a good expenditure of my money, whereas I could get a perfect legendary by using all the raid passes. So I kind of swapped out my gameplay just a little bit, but I am still playing organic. I'm doing as much organic gameplay as I can fit. Now you guys can see that I got the max Bagon. Alright, we got the max Shelgon now. So that's 1819. You actually could encounter a level 35 100% 1819 CP Shelgon in the wild. That's actually possible. So that's pretty cool. And of course you guys know we are gonna do that evolution. We gotta evolve the Shelgon into Salamence. One of my favorite evolutions in this game. I just think that it's really goofy how it goes from like this weird cocoon thing into like a sick dragon that has great animation. And look you guys, this is a glitch. I'm sure they're gonna fix it. He's below the board. He's like inside the board. There's a bunch of glitches like that right now. There's buddy glitches that are like that where it just makes no sense why he's floating below the board. It like makes no sense whatsoever. So I'm like, that's weird. Okay, yeah, that makes no sense. So whatever. Also, we got Fire Blast. Now I'm like, okay, he's a dragon, so I guess he can get Fire Blast. It's kind of like how he's not fire type, but he can get Fire Blast, just like Charizard isn't fire type, and Charizard can get Dragon Tail and moves like that, like Dragon Claw and stuff like that. So, you know, kind of interesting. But of course, I had to change it to Draco Meteor! New move in the game, best move for your Salamence there, so you definitely want to get the Draco Meteor move for your Salamence. I honestly think that that's a lit move, you guys. I think that that's crazy. It's got one of the best names in the entire game, and it's worth a ton of damage. So we finally have an actually really good attacker for Dragon type. That's pretty sick. What I don't know is if you can now move change Dragonite to get Draco Meteor. I don't think so, but wouldn't that be cool if you could? So kind of wondering about that. Does anybody know if you can move change Dragonite and get Draco Meteor? I would love to get a Draco Meteor Dragonite. That'd be so sick. So yeah, that'd be a really, really great move to get on him. I don't know if it's possible though. I really don't know. I still have Dragon Breath on some of my Dragonites, so Dragon Breath, Draco Meteor, that'd be a really sick combination. I don't think it's possible though. I think that Draco Meteor is exclusively a Gen 3 move and it's not for Gen 1 Pokemon. But who knows? Let me know in the comments if you guys know. I bet it's not though. Anyway, you guys, I'm just kind of going through my Pokedex here just to kind of wrap up the video, show you guys what I've done in Gen 3. Gen 3 has been really, really fun, and I still have a ton of Pokemon left to catch, so I'm really excited about that as well. Definitely have some new Pokemon that are going to be worth catching coming up, and I have not caught everything that's in the game yet, so I've just been kind of pacing myself. I want to say that I love the way that they've been releasing Pokemon in little tiny batches. I literally haven't even had enough time to catch all the Pokemon that they've released in the batches, and there's still Pokemon I have left that I just haven't had time to evolve, you know, like I haven't got the candies yet, like the Crawdaunt you guys saw there. So it's kind of fun, it's keeping me engaged, it's definitely keeping me way more engaged than the way that they were doing releases before. It's just all the Pokemon all at once. It was kind of a lot to go through, and it took me a long time to figure out who was who. So at least in this one, it's kind of in drip phases, and I think it's been really fun. I'm also showing off my catch rate for legendaries, you guys. I had really good catch rate on Groudon. Groudon I did fantastic on. Kyogre is really when I started to get the raid bug. I got really, really bitten. I think that Kyogre is when I was just like, let's go ham on it. I did get the perfect Kyogre, so I was pretty stoked about that. But then I didn't want to do that many Kyogres, but then I got the second perfect Kyogre, and honestly, I don't remember doing over 50 Kyogre raids, but apparently I did. I mean, I guess I did a lot of Kyogre raids, so whatever, that's fine. Anyway, you guys, I'm just showing off my shinies, showing off my Pokedex. This is what my Pokedex looks like right now. A lot of people ask me on videos, Jonno, show your Pokedex, we want to see it. And I'm like, that's cool, I'll show it. You know, we'll just dig through the Pokedex for a few minutes. And thanks to everybody who hangs out on my videos. You know, we did the max evolution of Salamence today, so that's a pretty lit one, that's a pretty good one. I'm gonna be battling with that guy for sure. That's one of my top tier attackers now, so he's definitely going to be seen in a lot of video footage coming up. But you guys, I think that that's going to wrap it up for this video. This was a pretty good one. We managed to get one of the best Pokemon in the game, and it's a max level, so all I gotta do is spend a little bit of Stardust to power it up all the way to max once I get some Stardust. Next up is gonna be Metagross. I'm just waiting for that level 35 Beldum, so if you guys see one, make sure you mention me on Twitter or Snapchat me or hit me up, whatever way you know how to hit me up. I gotta get that level 35. I'm really stoked for it. Alright you guys, that's gonna be the end for this video. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to my super amazing subscribers, and